Hello, and welcome to the TwoTakes podcast. Here we talk about the past week's sporting events, pop culture moments, and anything that's been of interest to us.
Hello, Ben.
Hi, Max. You good?
Yeah, I'm pretty down well. So we're just gonna click start there. So we're just gonna jump straight into it. In for football, obviously I've been unwell, so we've got a bit of a double dose of the football to review. It's probably the draw with Newcastle, Man City.
Yes, yeah. Big result.
Yeah, obviously well, everyone's apart from Man City fans are pretty happy about that, but we'll take it. I think it means Liverpool moved up to top of the league, didn't it?
Yeah, we're now top by 1 point.
Yeah.
We got 15 points, they got 14. And yeah, it was obviously 1-1 game, penalty in the second half. I think it was Gordon. Looked like a Stonewall penalty to fair. Looked like, well, not a Stonewall, but it did look kind of like it was a penalty. So no real complaints there. But yeah, it was obviously like it's a bit lucky just getting a penalty like that. But good result for everyone else. Good result for Arsenal. Good result for Liverpool.
Well, again, talking about luck, I think Arsenal were quite lucky they were drawing, obviously, until the literal 90th minute. Well, there was no goal, obviously, and then the 99th minute or something ridiculously late in the game like that. So
that game really annoyed me. Like, Leicester did all that hard work to get back into the game, got to the 2-2, and then they just throw it away at the end.
Yeah.
I thought like this was going to be a perfect weekend for Liverpool. Set us up nicely, to
pull away a bit.
Both of them dropping points, and then Trossard.
Yeah, I can get it up. Well, and then also moving on to the Sunday League, but Sunday football was. I literally would have taken good bets that this wouldn't have happened, but Ipswich Town drawing with Aston Villa 2-2.
Yeah, love that game. Ipswich are actually they've been all right. Like, they're legit. Like, I think a lot of people underestimated them. They look, obviously the results haven't quite gone their way in a sense that they haven't got any. But I think they've drawn a couple of games. They haven't got any wins yet.
No, well, they've drawn 4, lost 2. Like,
exactly.
Actually, as a newly promoted team, I think most people would take that, to be honest. Yeah.
And obviously against Aston Villa, people gave them no chance.
Yeah, no chance. I was convinced Aston Villa. I thought Aston Villa. I think I said in the last video, I expected if something could happen to Man City, I think I said Liverpool and Aston Villa would be fighting for first place. But because of that result, lo and behold, Liverpool wins the day. And then, I'll talk about it, but not for too long. Man United 3-0 loss, absolute devastation. Do you think it was a red card?
Right, so it was the one where because there was the one obviously last night he slipped, didn't he?
No. He got Bruno Fernandes got red carded against Tottenham.
Yeah, but against Tottenham, that's what I mean. Against Tottenham, it was kind of like he kind of slipped for that second yellow card. It wasn't like a clear
It was not endangering a player, in my opinion.
No.
But he definitely deserved a yellow card for the foul he committed in the build-up, like when he. Because he got sent off against Tottenham for dissent, didn't he? Was the second one? Oh no, he booted it away. That was it. We're mixing them up.
No, I swear it was a straight red. Tottenham was a straight red.
Was it?
Last night was 2 yellow cards.
I thought Tottenham.
Tottenham was a straight red.
I thought Tottenham was he.
Which was like why everyone.
Was no, I'm thinking of the Arsenal. The Arsenal Man City game where he kicked it away. What the hell did he got? I can't even remember what he got. I've blacked it out of my mind.
It was a very weird decision because if you look at it, I would barely even say that's a yellow card. I just think everything's a bit soft at the moment. Like not everything has to be a yellow card. Not everything has to be a red card.
Oh yeah, no, I remember it. Yeah, he slipped and the foot. I don't think
he hits his kind of like knee.
He hits his calf almost. I think it's
the players kind of make it look worse than it is because all the players get all riled up and they all go at the ref and everything like that. And I think Gary Neville was saying how when the players have that kind of reaction, it's bad. But then when you watch it, it was like 1, he slips. 2, he doesn't really. It doesn't he's not just gone straight through him. Like he barely even touches him to be honest. Kind of just raises his leg.
Yeah,
and it's just like I when I was watching it, I was like, that's barely even a yellow, and he's just getting a straight red. So I don't understand why VAR can't just in his ear be like, no, you got that one wrong. Like,
But
looking.
what's the rules though? So I know VAR can't interfere on a yellow card, but they can on a red. But can
Yeah,
they
it's
not
the camera.
interfere? Can they not interfere because it's giving a yellow card which produced the red? So they technically can't interfere.
No, because this was a straight red. This was not the second
Oh yeah,
yellow.
it was
This
a straight yellow.
straight
Yeah.
red card.
That's a load of bollocks. That's not even. It wasn't even a yellow card.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like you did like obviously you kind of feel hard done by in that sort of sense because and it's got rescinded now, so
Yeah.
it has the 3 match ban.
Which means they accept that it actually was a misplay, and
Yeah.
it derailed the game for us. Obviously, as soon as that happened, I know we were down already, down bad
We were
1-0, and and we weren't playing well. But what a way to just like nail in the coffin sort of thing.
Yeah,
And
it wasn't a great day at the office.
it was a shit day in the office. You know what I'm saying? It was unbelievably bad, unbelievably bad. But
were dreadful.
honestly,
Like probably the worst game you've had this season, and that's saying something.
yeah,
Did you have,
we
like,
said it. We said about the descent. I think in like maybe the first episode, Man United just get like done dirty with red cards, and so does like Arsenal does obviously as well because we spoke about that. But for the descent, when they made that a big thing, Casemiro, a man who never gets red cards, got 2 red cards in like 6 games because of dissent. It kills the passion of the sport. I know we discussed it before.
The whole dissent thing is just like it's to protect the refs and like at the end of the day, the refs know what
Their
they signed
job.
up.
Yeah,
That's their job. Their part of their job is to get abuse from the players, and you like no one wants to protect the refs. This rule came from them. It doesn't come from the fans. This doesn't come from anyone else. This comes from them just wanting to protect their friends, protect
Yeah.
their fellow referees, and it's like they give yellows for literally just like asking them a question
for
like,
breathing.
like it's or just even going up to them. It's just like it's got out of hand, and I think if you look, there's been a massive rise in yellow cards, red cards this season.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
based off that, and it's just like everything seems to have to be a yellow card. Everything seems to have to be a red card. Like it's just we just like the games don't flow, and it's just like everyone likes games. Well, the majority of fans will like games when it's like free flowing, when the ref lets it go a bit and lets some hard hitting tackles go in. Most fans love it when you have like a slide tackle. He gets all the ball and he completely takes out the player as well.
Yeah.
Like he just whacks him, but he gets the ball, so it's a good tackle. And everyone loves that kind of tackling. Everyone loves that kind of football because that's what you want. You want a bit of like just aggression. Like it's a contact sport. You don't need this where you like barely touch a player and there's a yellow card. Like,
Yeah.
so,
I agree. I think it's like the biggest comment after that Tottenham game was the game's gone, the game's gone, the game's gone. Like you can't, because then it's going to not encourage interesting football in the sense of you can't run at someone because if you touch them, you're going to ruin. They're going to jeopardize the whole team's game and stuff. But it was just, and it was just so brutal because the whole time I was watching, I thought, oh yeah, I think we need to be in League One because we can beat those teams 7-0. I was like, we just need to get demoted and we'll have a really good season
as well. You said like, oh, this might give us like morale, like
momentum,
and we'll like hopefully go on a bit of a run. And then you've drawn to Palace. You've lost to Spurs, and then obviously last night.
I think last night, because of last night, which we'll get to, I think that means now we've lost 4 games on the trot across all competitions, and it's just we're beating Aston Villa this weekend. I might just try and like sleep through the weekend. But yeah, all right, we'll move more into the week. So some of the big results for the Champions League obviously was Arsenal beating PSG very comfortably. I believe I think I caught the highlights, and they just seemingly were just.
It was on Prime.
Yeah. I know, it's interesting. So I think Discovery have European football, but Prime have like you can watch it on either.
They usually, I think, like they have one because I remember the previous week it was like one game was on Prime and then the rest were on that. I think it's like the Tuesday, one game on the Tuesday is always on Prime, and then the rest are on TNT or Discovery Plus.
Okay.
But yeah, it was an alright game. But Arsenal just looked the better side. Like PSG weren't great. Like it's weird as well because they had a few players like on the bench that you would have thought would have started. Like Fabian Ruiz came on the second half. He looked really good. Their striker Mawani was on the bench. Dembele was on the bench. I think Dembele was more because of disciplinary reason. But Fabian Ruiz is what like Euros just won the Euros, amazing, technically gifted footballer, and PSG just didn't have anything. Like they didn't have anything going forward. They're just not they're not the PSG of like a couple of years ago with Mbappe and all that.
Farmer League. That's because they're playing in a farmer league, as people say. But yeah, I think actually some of the results are pretty fair. Like you got Barcelona winning 5-0. You got Dortmund winning 7-1, which means a big switch up for Celtic winning like.
I saw some of the goals. I was watching the highlights earlier of all the games, and that Adeyemi for Dortmund scored some screamers.
There's piling them out, yeah. And Inter Milan again winning 4-0. Inter Milan, dark horse of this year, and then obviously Man City just doing Man City things 4-0 as well.
Yeah, but they're against Slovan Bratislava.
Yeah, something like that.
Heard of them.
Yeah. Leverkusen beating AC Milan was quite another one, 1-0, but still a fair enough result. And then on the second night, Aston Villa beating my Bayern Munich. I watched the full game of that. That was actually an unbelievably good game for Aston Villa.
Yeah,
and they looked like it was comfortable. It was a comfortable win as well, I think. I thought they were going to score more.
Great goal as well from Duran.
Yeah, unbelievable.
He's so good.
And then some crappy little club called Liverpool won their game 2-0, which is a bit of a shame, but can't win them all. And then Lille beating Real Madrid. I watched I had both games on as well. I was like, yeah, Real Madrid were just scrambling. Oh, and so there was a moment I think you might have seen, because I've seen it everywhere since the game, is like when it's like in the 80th something minute, and Bellingham runs back, interceptors, and then now, do you think he's angry at the ref, or do you think he's angry at Vinny and Mbappe?
I think I saw on Twitter that it's basically like you can see like Vinicius Junior and Mbappe like just jogging.
They're on the bench. They're halfway across the field,
doing anything, and like he's clearly like mad at them.
But you think it's hit at them, not the ref?
Hmm?
You think he's mad at them, not the ref?
Yeah,
because a lot of people are like,
at Vinny Junior and Mbappe for not doing what they should be, which kind of ties into what you said last week about
too many egos.
So
yeah,
you might be right. Like obviously it's just a one-off game, but like that wasn't a great look, and obviously that was a really good win for Lille. But again, it doesn't. This new format, because there's another 6 games, doesn't really. These early games don't really mean too much. It's not like Real Madrid are going to be worrying they're not going to get through now. But...
Yeah, you say that, but mad things. The thing is, though, they're going to be in the playoffs and they'll get through no matter what. It just might be a more games sort of situation. Yeah, and then we'll move on to the next one. Tottenham winning, just keeping on the Premier League football stuff, and then obviously a 2-0 lead, looking good. Results in a 3-3 with a red card for Bruno Fernandes. I think he's maybe got a holiday or something, and he's trying to get banned from all competitions.
To be fair, again, this one
so light.
It's kind of it's one that could have gone either way. Really, you could like high foot, like because he's already on a yellow. Like it's stupid for him to go for that anyway with his foot. But a high foot, you can kind of sometimes you just give the foul.
It was the player's reaction. It was the player's reaction. He grabbed his face, and I thought they got better at like if people dived and they were booking them like upon review and stuff. But it seemingly is just meant now that you might as well grab your face and do like a dive and see if you get what you want. But him getting back to that Reds is just. I wonder if they'll appeal it and they'll say, nah, that was too much. Because I think if the guy got up, nothing would have happened. And he grabs his face.
That would only be a 1-match ban, though. But,
but they should appeal anyway because But the thing is, I was going to ask you is obviously Harry Maguire equalising, praise be. But even though I was speaking the death of him, I was like, this guy is crap. So there was a moment where like we had a corner and we whipped it in, crap set piece of like a performance, and then they get on a counter attack, and you see Harry Maguire trying to charge back, but he's just such a hulking fella, and he's just so slow. And it's so funny. But do you think if Bruno Fernandes didn't get sent off, do you think that there was a chance that we could win? Because we were on, like we were shooting like mad, but he took some shots that were just atrocious.
Yeah, like. I don't know, because obviously it's kind of difficult because he hasn't been great this year. Like he hasn't really scored at all this year. He's got a couple of assists, I think, but he just hasn't been good. He like you say, he takes a lot of long shots that he just shouldn't take. His decision making has kind of been off.
He loses his head. He loses his head so quickly.
He doesn't kind of look like he looks very frustrated. It looks like he just doesn't know what he's doing out there at the moment. Like or he's just like not comfortable with the players that he's playing with. But in general, you just didn't look good at all. Like
we were winning 2-0 at one point. Thank you very much. I think, yeah.
Rashford looked better.
Yeah,
Rashford looked good. His first goal, even though the keeper should save that, like there's no way that should be going in. But he did well there. I think he had another chance where he ran through the box.
Yeah, ran past everyone and
then. So he did look better, but like to let them back into it the way you did, like was just so poor. Your defense. I actually thought early on in the season your defense looked alright.
Look at the lineup on paper, you mean? Yeah, really good.
Over the last like four games or something, they just look dreadful. And then no one doesn't save anything.
He's Jordan Pickford. He's Jordan Pickford. They both have this innate thing where they want exciting. They're like FIFA characters. Instead of doing a save where you're like, okay, even if you hit it with your hands and don't catch it, you hit it far away. But because they're doing these like one-handed jumps and slaps away, it's also theatrical. It's my big pet hate with both of them as keepers, because like I'm not a keeper and I couldn't do half of what they can do, but at the same time when you watch other people who are in the Premier League level, when they do those saves, they're like, yes, they'll make that save. Like the Aston Villa goalie against Bayern Munich did unbelievably good save, Martinez. And I'm not his biggest fan, to be honest, but when he hit it, he just like hits it away. Like Onana did it. Yes, it's arguably a good save when they scored the first goal the first time round, but he just hits it up and it just stays exactly where it is. So it's still in a danger spot. Like if you're gonna, and then when the other one came straight at him, last season he had it lots, like where it's where we were losing leads and stuff, where the ball was just kicked right at him, and it just goes right past him, and it's just like if you're at that level, you should be saving those shots.
I just think he's such a strange keeper. He just doesn't.
It's the way he saves.
Yeah, he just doesn't. When he does make saves, he makes it look awkward, and he just doesn't. He just kind of. He always just. It looks like the ball just goes past him so easily. Like he doesn't even really go for it, and then occasionally he can look good, and then he just looks terrible.
Yeah, like.
To be fair, in this game, both keepers were dreadful. The Porto keeper had an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. I don't know. No, I think in the last 20 minutes we were relentless with shots and stuff, and he did make some saves. Like Garnacho, he did a couple whips on his right foot, and I thought, here we go. But just he kept deflecting them. He did some nice like tipping them over the bar at least and stuff. But I feel bad because I sort of we were 2-0 up. Rashford's on form. He should let him play. He should let him play it out. And afterwards, I don't know if you saw the interview. He was like, "We've got a." Like they were like, why did you take him off? And he was like, well, we've got to consider Aston Villa. We've got to have rested players. And people are like, he's 26. Let him get a hat trick. Let him go into the next game absolutely like cooked up. But I understand why he wants to get Garnacho on, because he's making him like good on a sub.
Why
but
didn't he just take Ahmad off? He could have just taken Ahmad off and then just kept Rashford on. But I think Garnacho's best position is on the left, so maybe.
Yeah, but Eriksen. I know it was off shambles, but Eriksen again 2 assists. He's like the sleeping agent of this season for Man United. He's got so many assists. I think he's got the highest assist for Man United in all competition this season.
Obviously, if he's starting though, like there's an issue there. Your midfield is your issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the whole fucking team's an issue. Really.
I know.
No, I think the goalie. I think Onana. I was so angry when they replaced De Gea on the season we got back into Champions League football. I was like, that is the most wild choice of things, but fair enough. And just like De Gea, it takes a couple of seasons for a goalie to get like attuned to it. And fair enough, you could give Onana a bit of grace and say, well, the rest of the team, it's not like he's not the person who needs to become stable with the rest of the team because it's so finely tuned. It's all a mess, but he is not like, if you have a good goalie, you can work from there and but you know, the defense is, even Martinez wasn't having a great game, which is like he's usually one of our staple players. Yeah, but bring on Aston Villa. Maybe we'll surprise.
But to be fair, Aston Villa is kind of the game where
we might step up.
You'll just step up, and then
you say that 5-0, 100.
Yeah, you know, like usually it's like this where you go on a bad run, and then like it's like a kind of game where Eric Ten Hag, if you lose, he's gone, and then you suddenly.
Do you think so? Do you think so? Do you think?
If you lose a Villa and it's bad, he's done.
Go on, like, give me a number. Let's make a hot take prediction, like 3-0 and he's gone.
Yeah, if it's like, even if it's I was 3-0, 3-0 or more, he's definitely gone. But maybe if it's 2-1 and it's tight and they just score at the end or something like that, he'll stay maybe. But if you lost last night, he would have been gone.
Really, I think, nah, because like think if he lost last night, yeah, I think it maybe you're right because he was 2-0 up, and so it's not like he was. Yeah, maybe I don't know. But thing is though, how many managers are in this conversation of where they're gonna go, and they somehow stay? Usually, when a manager has that conversation of
It
they'll be
seems to
leaving.
be Eric Ten Hag every time he's like on the hot seat, he gets like a good run or a good
Well,
result.
he's only still here because he
Yeah,
won the FA Cup. If he lost that FA Cup, and
would,
not to be, nah, I'd obviously take the win. I'd never, and especially because it's beautiful because it was against Man City. We had the road to beat Liverpool there was even better. Arguably, the semi-final was a bit sketch with the disallowed goal, but we'd always take that.
yeah,
But ironically,
you shouldn't have been in that. But yeah,
but it prolonged the pain of having his performance. It's just I don't know where I was watching. I was reading it somewhere. Someone put after nearly all these or 3-4 years, however long he's been here. I think it's 3 years now, or 4 years. But what is his style of football? I couldn't tell you. There is no that you can't like what he's trying to implement is not clear to fans. I don't think it's clear to his players. He's changed the entire. He's like think how many of the players he's shuffled out. He's shuffled out most of the staff, and now Radcliffe's come in and he's now just sacking people left right. It's destabilizing rather than cementing. And for for a fan, it's just shotgun to the back of the head would be swifter and nicer from his point, to be honest.
yeah.
But
And obviously, this is like his squad now because he's like we said before. He's spent like 600 million.
yeah,
He's had, I think, at least 4 or 5 windows, like as in like January and summer, to get his players in, and this is his squad. But obviously, I think like you still need some players to get where you want to be. But you sign the players you want. You spent a lot of money. You should be better.
he took charge in summer of 2022. I thought it was long. So that means this is his third year.
Yeah, so third year. So he's
That
already
can't
had,
be right.
So yeah, so he would have had five windows.
No, but like 5 windows. So in his first year, he got us back. Yeah, we finished third in his first year. Got us back into Champions League football, and then he went, let's mix it all up. Yeah. And we lost to Galatasaray, and it was nail gun. Yeah, like. But anyway, it's there's the argument of that he needs more time, but it's there. Like what I've just said there. There is no clear vision.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like if he was still where he is now, and there was a clearer vision of what he's trying to achieve, fair enough. And I think he's got nothing to hide. There's no point of like him going, "Well, I don't want to tell my competitors." But we're not a big 6 club right now. Like we're going to finish below 10th at this rate if this keeps going, and it's just not acceptable. And I think there's a certain point where you can just be the wrong guy for the wrong team, and that's what I think.
Yeah, I don't see like how you can say he's just giving time or anything like that. He's had long enough. Like even like his early days for Arne Slot with Liverpool, you can see how he's changed things from how Jurgen Klopp played. You can see development. He's already developed Gravenberch into. He's arguably been one of the best midfielders in the league this season. So you can see development, and he's only been here 2 months, whereas Ernest I've been there almost 2 to 3 years now. And Rashford has declined. Obviously, he's been better recently, but there's some good things like Garnacho's come from him. Obviously, Ahmad's kind of come in under him.
But that's only because of forced injuries. Like that like Emenu and that lot, they've only come through because we've been plagued with injuries under his management. And so, like for every positive, I feel like there's 2 found negatives. And I don't know. It's tough though. In his first season, and this is what I was just googling here on to my left. Obviously, he won the FA Cup, but in his first season, he's won the Carabao Cup, and then he lifted the FA Cup in his second season, and we're calling him a failure.
I know, obviously,
it's so like... perverted. I don't like. This is it. There is some twisted found logic where I'm like, well, okay, he's won a trophy every single season as a manager. Well, we've got to keep him. And I said to you, I remember we spoke to this just before the FA Cup, or maybe just after, and I said, and you asked me, "Oh, do you think he should go?" And I said, he's just won the FA Cup. You can't fire a manager that's just won the FA Cup, and you can call it luck, you can call it whatever. but it's better to be lucky than skilled. I think a lot of people say, and if he wins us another trophy this season, well, this is it. So if he can win the FA Cup twice back to back, would I care if we finished 13th in the league? I would, but would I want him gone? Probably not, because I think he'll be able to transfer it, or is he just like, I don't know.
It's a bit, it's I don't know, like it's strange because obviously you got like Unai Emery with Aston Villa. Like everyone says like how he's such a brilliant manager, which he is. He's doing amazing with Aston Villa, and obviously like he's brought them back. When he took over, they were in like relegation zone. He's brought them back to like Champions League and everything like that. But obviously you look at that and you think no trophies during that time.
Same with Arteta, really, isn't it?
Yeah, Arteta obviously had the FA Cup, but that was Unai Emery's team. So that's basically Unai Emery's trophy for Arsenal, but whatever. But Arteta's only got that one, so you think like, oh, he's got more trophies than Arteta. So you think, it makes you think like you're being too harsh on him.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, you can't keep playing like this. Like you've got to have a style of play. You've got to have the performances. Like, and you don't.
It's just making us look like a bunch of clowns.
Yeah, it's not great. It isn't great. Like you just don't.
How long is that? So Arteta won that. He won that FA Cup in 2020. How long has he been the manager of Arsenal?
Arteta is like his 4th or 5th year. Because they finished
2019, yeah. So this is his 6th year going into.
Okay, no 5th.
No, you got 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So he's in his 6th. But this is like 6. He's in his 6th. It's technically 24 to 25, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
It always runs in. But still, I don't know. So who would you prefer there? So would you prefer Ten Hag, who does it in 2 years, beats his thing what he's taken 5 years to do, and you just think, but it's just embarrassing.
You can see, like, with Arteta, like, to be fair, not every year, but you could see him progressing. Like,
yeah.
They weren't, like, better every year because they finished, like, 8th twice. But, you can see now, like, they're going for the league. They went for the league twice already. Like, they're being close with it. You can see the progression. They're back in the Champions League, all that kind of stuff. Like, you can see them moving forward, even though the trophies aren't there. Whereas Erik ten Hag, he's got 2 trophies. One, obviously, like we said, was very lucky, but he's still got a trophy. You need a bit of luck going through football. But the football is not great, and you need like that progression. You need the player development. You need to see stuff moving forward, even if it's not on the field. Like even like stuff like the academy or like the
Man United's academy players. Our academy and youth squads are unreal. Like
you know what I mean. Like
I get what you mean though, but
you need to see the whole club moving forward. Like
to put what you're saying in perspective. Is when you think about the Arsenal squad and the Arsenal players and all the players they adopt from like clubs from Chelsea and Man City, all of those players that are there and that come there, like believe in the process, like they trust that they're gonna get it done. Like obviously they're not doing it, but they're like, oh, it'll be our season next season, and like I know everyone says that, but like when you see them talk about it, they trust Arteta, and like he obviously is a disciple of Pep, and as many of the managers are. I saw a great image where it was like him and all the all people that he's like taught basically, who are the managers, who got Vincent Kompany, really well. They're all top managers and stuff, which is quite funny.
He's Pep.
Yeah, and so I think Arsenal's time will come. Will it? Liverpool could be the thorn in their side this season. That's the thing. I looked at a little cheeky bet of how much Aston Villa would be if they won the league. When I saw them beat Bayern Munich, I thought, ooh! And if you put £100 on for them to win, you could win. I think it's $8,500 back. And I was like,
nice, maybe.
Yeah, well, you could put, and I think you could put each way, put 50 quid, and you can win like £6,000 or £4,000 if they come first or second. And I was like, £50. Yeah. Like, to be fair, and you know what? Like when I watched them beat Bayern Munich, I thought, oh, Leicester. I got Leicester vibes of like a weird season where they just pull it off. And so
obviously they had that result against Ipswich, which makes you also think maybe they're not quite there yet. So like, obviously,
that's true.
There's a lot of
Draw.
things.
Wasn't a loss though.
I know, but obviously the Premier League, like as much as like obviously that result was amazing for them, Champions League, Bayern Munich, and they were away. I think they were at Bayern Munich. So obviously that's an amazing result for them. Amazing result for the club for their club history. But like obviously you've got to keep the results going in the Premier League as well. So
Yeah, exactly. And that's, well, when they batter us this weekend, I think we can rediscuss it. They just annihilate us, and then we can talk about how they'll be top of the league.
Doing well in that game, but
No.
we'll see.
And so we'll talk about we'll talk about the matches that are coming up this weekend. So pretty easy one for you, for Liverpool. We've got Crystal Palace. I think you could get a draw. Crystal Palace does have that like sneaky ability, but it should be a win for Liverpool in theory.
Obviously it should be, but it's an early kickoff, 12:30, which we just always seem to get. No, but that is a thing with Liverpool. Like obviously, like I think last year, I think it was like people were saying that we've had the most out of it. We've had like 15 early kickoffs, and like the next nearest team was Spurs, like 7 or something like that. Something stupid like that, anyway. But
it's an agenda.
Yeah, obviously, we've just played on Wednesday, so like it's quite a quick turnaround. And Palace are good. Like they drew with you. They're obviously, I know that doesn't mean too much.
They're 18th in the league, just to let you know.
I know, but they're not a bad side. Like
they're a drawing capable team, and that's what's annoying. They will steal valuable points from the top people. Don't think they'll win, but I think they're very good at stealing points, and that is what I agree with you.
Have good players as well. Like Eze is really Mateta is a good player.
Yeah,
there's some good players in that squad. So and Palace always just seem to do well against the bigger clubs.
They screw you when you don't want to be screwed. Let's put it that way. Yeah, and then Arsenal against Southampton. Well, that should be a bit of a just a clean win. Brentford Wolves. I would say Brentford probably should win that. They're 12th, and Wolves are last. Stone cold last.
Brentford they've been scoring like in the first minute. The last like 3 games. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Leicester against Bournemouth. I would say Bournemouth. Obviously, they're higher in the league.
Yeah, you would have seen Bournemouth, but obviously Leicester. They've been doing they obviously almost drew against Arsenal, so you never know.
Yeah, and then Man City against Fulham. Now Fulham are 6th.
Fulham, all right.
Yeah, that could be another draw for Man City, especially if Fulham score first. I think that could be a real, raining on their parade. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Obviously, Man City. I think they're still without Rodri.
Yeah, I think he's out for the season, didn't they whisper? I heard rumors.
I'm not sure about the season, but obviously I think it's going to be a while. But they don't look the same without Rodri. Fulham actually look pretty good this year. They got Emil Smith-Rowe. They've signed some good players over the summer, so it could be a nice tasty game now.
They're just a tough team, aren't they? Really, when you come down to it, they're always a bit gritty. I find with Fulham, they're just they've got that vibe. Their players are hungry, a bit like what I thought Wolves were like last season, but they seem to be lacking this season. And then West Ham against Ipswich, they're 14th and 15th respectively, and I think it'd be come on Ipswich. I want to see them win.
Yeah, I'd love Ipswich to win that game.
Yeah, it was sick.
I'm rooting for Ipswich this season. I hope they do well. It'd
be cool if they stay up.
Yeah, I reckon they could get 16th, 15th, 17th. I'm rooting for them to stay up. Southampton, I think are just dreadful. Leicester maybe, but Ipswich look alright. So, and it's weird because West Ham looked like they had a really good transfer window. Looked like they got some good players in, and they've just been awful.
Yeah, the way it goes. Talking about it's preaching to the choir of good transfer options and then shit performance. Everton, Newcastle. I would definitely say Newcastle. It'd be so surprising if Everton actually pulled that off. But Everton have actually won a game this season so far. And then
Everton always seem to score. They've been getting ahead.
Yeah.
A couple games.
3 times is it now? 2 or 3 times?
They seem to always just end up losing somehow, but they don't seem to have a problem with scoring. So
Aston Villa, Man United.
We got that with Villa.
If we lose, which I actually suspect, honestly, because I think momentum is a big thing, and I think we will lose. It just means we'll probably go down to 16th in the league, honestly, and that is just horrific. That is horrific because what happens? So if West Ham or Ipswich, if one of them win, we'll stay on 7. They could theoretically go up to 8 or 9 or 8 or 7, so they'll be matching us, but they'll have a better goal difference.
If he's got to go after that, you can't be.
He's got to go. Yeah, no. I don't know. It's just 7 games in. 7 games in. That's too early.
That's
no. He won the FA Cup 10 games ago.
Brendan Rodgers was sacked early, like late October, I think it was, or early November. Like,
I think
it happens.
I think he'll be protected by the new management, by Radcliffe. I think he'll just be like, I'm doing too much in the club to destabilize management as well, because he's obviously chapping over all the jobs and stuff. But anyway, well, that'll be a big talking point. Tears or cheers for sure.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to wipe the tears away. And then the next game actually I think is gonna be a cracking game, which is the Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. I think that could be a sick game. I hope Nottingham Forest win. That'd be good.
Yeah, but I don't really see that because Chelsea have.
They've been doing well.
Forest have been doing as well. They're up there as well now, but Chelsea look a lot better this year.
Yeah, but they have a little bit of a thing of Man United where they they're better at getting runs. But I find that Chelsea have some blessed someone whoever's sorting out the match fixtures. They seemingly have a very nice row of fixtures. They'll be like a load of shit teams. Like, this the reason I'm saying that you can't get rid of Ten Hag now is because we are in the trenches of like actually quite like tough games on a row, you know. And so I think that's where let us play some crap teams. We'll probably lose, but let him see there. And then the final game is Brighton against Tottenham.
Well, that could be alright to be fair.
They're 8th and 10th with a point between them so far. So I don't know.
I don't know because obviously Tottenham have just come off that big win against you, so they got big morale, got kind of momentum. So they obviously look good in that. But was it you being terrible, them being good? And obviously Brighton have been alright this year as well. So it'll be a tasty game that maybe like a 2-2 draw potentially.
Yeah. It's well from look just going over those. It looks like it's going to be a good weekend of football. To be fair, and there are some really good games coming up later. Like on the 20th of October, Liverpool against Chelsea will be a cracking game, and so
yeah, that'll be a good game.
That'll be a big game. And then
that's that one.
You're about to go through your trenches because you've got that. Obviously, this weekend you should wipe the floor, but
we've got a bad run coming up.
You got Chelsea, and then you've got Arsenal, so you've got to go through the walls a little bit, and so maybe we'll be talking about a different manager needing replacement.
Even if we lose those 2 games, it won't be as bad as we won't be down in 16th by you though.
Yeah, well, that is true. That is very, very true. You're just praying, not let alone your results. You're just praying that if Fulham beats Man City, game on. Like anyone can.
If they drop even if they get a draw, like if they drop more points, like
if they drop that, Liverpool wins, Arsenal wins, Chelsea win, Aston Villa win, they could be theoretically 5th in the league at that point.
Which would be class.
Which would just
be great.
It's just more pressure. It's just more pressure for them.
That'd be great for the league, just to show that it's not going to be Man City running away with it this year. But we'll wait and see on that one.
Yeah. And then if we'll move on, I'm just gonna put my hands up like this as a point so I can see like that, so I can cut it at some point if we need to. But yeah, so that football, it's all on. It's all game on. It's all quite interesting. Obviously, we won't really talk about F1 because big old 4-week gap, which is
it's annoying. It's annoying this gap.
Just like a winter break. We just had a summer break, and now we're having a winter break almost. It feels like an autumn break.
Drivers. But
sorry.
Again, the races are tough.
Yeah. I think everyone seems a bit like confused about it, but no, that's fine. Do you want to talk about some media stuff? I've been watching some different shows this week. Have you watched anything new that you'd like to highlight?
So I just finished watching Rings of Power, but I'm pretty sure you haven't watched that yet.
Is it out? Did you watch it? It came out today, didn't it? Oh, it came out yesterday.
Yeah, it came out yesterday.
I was like, you're too on it. You're too quick for me. You're too quick. Yeah.
But no, other than that, I've been watching I think on Netflix, Snowpiercer. It's like a post-apocalyptic series about like there's like a kind of like basically like an ice age, and they to survive they've managed to build a train track before the freeze came.
Is it a spin-off of a film?
It's a film and it's a series. There's a film with
I've seen the film. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, good
premise where they're on a train, and basically that's how they survive the ice
because they keep moving. Yeah.
They build track. It's got like guy from Hamilton. The musical was a really good actor. It's got Sean Bean, Jennifer Connelly. That's good. It's I've been enjoying it, to be fair. Like I remember watching like the first season of it when it first came out, and I wasn't too blown away. But it's I'm on the 3rd season now, and it's a good watch, to be fair. Like just something to watch, and like it's not like amazing, but it's a good watch. I definitely recommend.
Fair enough, fair enough. I'm watching. I've been watching something new on Apple TV, which is called Foundation.
Yeah, with there's a guy, the guy
You're
from
tapping your desk.
sorry, um,
Double trouble. That is funny.
so there's a guy from Sherlock Holmes. Is in it.
Yeah,
The
the old
main
guy. Yeah, who's the one. But I love the premise of how they're like an eternal dynasty by cloning. I'm really enjoying it. I'm 7 episodes in. I quite like it. I feel like it's building to something quite big, and I know there's another season, so I'm hoping it gets there. But I've been watching that, and then I've been watching on the other side of something called The Great, which is on Channel 4, which is it's a comedy about like it's a princess who marries. You'd probably recognize the guy, but I can't remember his name. But I'm only on episode 2. I keep seeing it on TikTok all the time, and I'm like, do you know, if I see it, if I see a show enough on TikTok, I'm like, I'll give it a go because it's clearly being channeled to me. But despite that one, I wanted to recommend 2 shows to you. One's called the Tulsa King, or the King of Tulsa.
Oh, with Stallone.
Yeah, so I watched this first season when it came out, whenever, way back, and I thought this is going to be rubbish.
Yeah.
Unbelievably good. I was addicted to it, and so now I haven't started season 2, but I'm looking forward to doing that. But there's too many on the go, so I'm going to watch that. But it's basically in season 1, he takes the rap for some. He's like part of a mob family, that sort of vibe, and he takes the rap for someone. And he comes out, and I won't spoil too much, but basically he ends up having to leave New York, and he starts again, and it's very good because he builds a crew, and but he's got to keep dealing with the New York side, and I think you would really enjoy it, to be fair. And he was really good in it. I thought he might be like quite a wooden actor sort of stuff, especially because he's a lot older and stuff, but really, really good. And so I highly recommend that. I think you'd enjoy it. But then there's another show which is very, very weird, and it's called The League, and it's about a group of mates who have an American fantasy football league. So a bit from what we were talking about in our last conversations. And it's got, I think the most famous guy is his character is called Ruxin, but he is one of the guys. You know Big Mouth? Do you know? You must know Big Mouth, where it's like the animated show. I thought I asked you. Let me.
I've never watched it, but I know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, where there's like they've all got quite big mouths, to be fair. But let me see if I can find his name. It's Nick Kroll, Kroll, Kroll. You would recognise him, but he's basically in it, and it's. I think you should watch it because it's really weird. Like, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's quite funny because they've got a trophy and they do forfeits and stuff, and it in a weird way. I'm understanding. I watched it long, long ago, and I forgot sort of about it, and then I saw him, and I thought, oh, geez. And it was off the back of our conversation in our last episode, and I was like, oh, and I've been watching it, and it's making me understand about the trades of football. Do you remember you were explaining it a bit to me, and I was like, oh, it's quite funny. But they've got actual American football players in the show, so like that. So they'll be like, in the last episode, he's a lawyer, and he was helping a kid with he was doing pro bono work where he was like helping a Make-A-Wish kid. And the kid was like, oh, I'd love to meet an American footballer. And he said a name, I don't know. But he was like, oh no, how about this guy? And it's someone who was on his fantasy team because he wanted to see if he was fit, like to play. And I thought, it's quite funny actually. And so I think you should give it a go. I think it's a really funny one. But yeah, I'll try and pop up some of the actors' names up below from all the shows we're talking about. But yeah, the one film I was thinking about going to see in the movies, or in the cinema, is the what's it called? It's one of the Alien films, Alien Romula. Yeah, I think I might go and see that because I'm quite a fan of the Alien franchise, actually.
Yeah, I've recently watched because I never watched Prometheus and Covenant, so I've watched them 2 recently. I actually enjoyed both of them, to be fair. Like I'm not massive on the Alien franchise, but I do enjoy it. But
yeah, I wouldn't watch it at a premiere, but if it's on, I'm like,
yeah. Like, and I've saw loads of like people really liking Alien Romulus. Made me kind of want to watch it, but then Lydia wouldn't go to watch it, so it's not her thing. But yeah, I'll watch it when it comes out, like on any streaming site. Yeah.
Are you gonna go and watch the new Joker film? I've seen that. I've never watched.
Terrible reviews. Terrible.
Oh, I've heard it's like a absolute shit show of a film in the sense of like.
mess.
It is a
Apparently
mess. Like it's half musical, half not, and not in a good way. It's not like, oh yeah, it's acting and then musical. Apparently, it's like you just forget they sing, and then all of a sudden they break out in a random song. And so
yeah, I think like the first one was all right. It wasn't
he was
like
a good
amazing.
Joker. He was
He
insane.
was good, yeah,
Mm.
but this I just don't. I don't know. It was just I don't think the actor Juan Phoenix.
Mm.
I've pronounced his name terribly there, but um, he's been on a bad like trend with movies. Like I don't know if you watched Napoleon. Um,
Oh
he
God, he's the same guy. I did not even
same
clock that. Yeah,
same guy, and that film was dreadful. Like Napoleon's
it
dreadful.
was so bad. I thought it was going to be sick as well. I thought it was
Yeah,
going to be really
you
good, but
thought Ridley Scott is going to be like it was like Gladiator was. Same obviously actor that was in Gladiator. Um, and it was just appalling. It was just so boring. I didn't finish it, but he's been on a bad trend lately with his films. Like, I, I don't like. He's a great actor, obviously, but it's just not. The films he's been producing haven't been great.
no, like, a film I watched this week as well was Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes, we watched it. We watched it recently as well. Um, but yeah, it was. Did you not like it? Did you like it?
I thought it was good. It was alright. Like it wasn't like a film I'm gonna be like, wow, everyone needs to see. If you like nerdy stuff, I think it's probably like a geek, I should say, more
Yeah,
geeky
because
stuff.
all the cameos. Yeah.
Yeah, all the cameos. It was it was pretty good. Like when Blade turned up, and what's his name? The guy who was doing like I think quite trying to do like quite a thick Caribbean accent.
Gambit.
Yeah,
Gambit. It's called.
Gambit. But who's the actor? Channing Tatum.
Tatum.
Yeah, it was very odd, but I thought it was quite funny because it was clearly supposed to be taking the mick. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a. Again, this is the problem with those sort of superhero films right now, and the last Thor film had this problem where they're just trying to do too many sort of genres. So like they've got the really whimsical style of Deadpool, which is obviously very eccentric compared to the normal like Guardians of the Galaxy version of like eccentricness and music and all that. But then they do have a villain actually being quite serious and trying to like do something.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just like we're flipping between two films. Like if do you know what I'm on about with the Thor one, where you had like the actual main act, like I can't remember his name, but who's the guy who was like who picked up the sword and was trying to kill all the gods?
Oh, Christian Bale.
Chris Bale, yeah, and he was doing a great performance. Don't get me wrong, unbelievably good performance. Like, but it just was
Yeah,
such a disjointed
that
film.
yeah, Love and Thunder wasn't great either because it was too like even Chris Hemsworth said himself he was like he did too much improv like it was he got too into doing like improv and like just like he just going with it sort of thing like he didn't he
It's
wanted
because of
to
the
be
producer.
tacky something
Yeah, they've shelved his Star Wars film. I think everyone liked it, what his style because it was quirky and new. But now from the fallout of that, it's like
yeah
it's like if you and I turned up to a set and went let's put some outfits on and let's just freestyle it, and that's just not good filmmaking. I think he's a fun
but
guy though.
but then we enjoyed it to be fair like the music was really good obviously Living in
Yeah.
a Prayer that made it really good um
I just feel like it could have been two separate films. I think all of it was. This is what I'm saying. Like Christian Bale, his performance, and Chris, like all of their performances were good, but it just didn't feel like it was a complete film. It felt all the actual like content was good, but the overall story arc was just completely off the rails. And so I think that's the big problem with Marvel at the moment. Like they can't. They're trying to be funny and serious, and I think it spills over to a lot of their TV shows
yeah,
where it's missing the
Marvel's like
mark.
it's just they're not on a great streak at the moment. Obviously, this was like in the right direction, but it's obviously they're trying to set it all up for I think it's Secret Wars. I think it is
Yeah.
one, but yeah, it's like they're doing all right, but like Marvel's kind of lost a lot of credit recently. Like it's not as big as it used to be because obviously
Yeah.
the Infinity Saga was just massive.
Yeah, and obviously you and I, just before we started this call, discussed it a bit about how they've now announced that Spider-Man, obviously Tom Holland, is going to play a much bigger role in Avengers Doomsday than in the comics, and obviously they've brought back Robert Downey Jr. to be Doomsday, and this is because they are like, oh, what money could, like, it's just might as well, they've gone for basically, instead of, they know new characters aren't fulfilling their roles or
Yeah.
the need. And it's because it's getting the same treatment as Star Wars eventually got. It's getting the same treatment as Lord of the Rings gets. It's fans have got to know the core build-up of a franchise and are allergic to changes unless you get some sort of wildly successful one like The Mandalorian, obviously, for example, and Star Wars is a great example of that. But
Yeah.
they've got to just they can't get every single one to be a banger. I get that. So they're just mass produce. They got the Chat GDP on Super Drive, and just are probably pumping them out, and that's why people are getting bored of them.
Yeah, it's just like there's so many. Obviously, the main thing that went wrong for them was producing all these TV shows that they've done.
Yeah.
So that obviously obviously everything was coming too quickly. Like they were producing like 3 TV shows a year, couple movies a year, like it used to be like maybe 1 movie a year, 2 movies a year tops, and now obviously Marvel has just been churning out all these TV shows. I think they've just released one recently, Agatha.
Yeah, I've not watched that actually, but I did quite enjoy the WandaVision one.
WandaVision will be good.
I think I'm going to watch that one actually.
Yeah, I'm think I'm just letting a couple more episodes be released now. I'm going to kind of just try and binge it or whatever. But I've heard good things about that. At least that it's not bad.
She's a great actress, to be fair. She's always funny in everything she's in. I can't remember her name.
Actress, so.
Yeah, she's the main lady who is Agatha. I've enjoyed her in most of the things, but the one I've never ever watched. I take that back. I tried to watch but never got into it. Was who's the fellow with the bow?
Hawkeye.
The Hawkeye show. You watched that? I think you told me you quite liked it.
That was one of the better ones.
Yeah,
that was actually good. I actually thought that was alright.
I find him quite boring. The guy, he's the same actor, same character, even if he's not Hawkeye. Have you ever watched a film called Tag? He basically plays Hawkeye, but just it's like a load of friends who played tag, but
Panic.
like
Tag. Do you not know that film? I thought
that's a good film, but he basically plays Hawkeye in it, and I feel like
he's like really quick and agile and whatever.
His acting range is pretty.
Well, he's like a classic action guy.
Yeah.
He's not really.
Yeah, he's a one-trick pony in that regards. But you said it in the last podcast episode. The problem with mass producing all these seasons, I don't mind them producing so many, but the problem is if you make 6 episodes for them, it's not a fulfilled service. And I was just looking at, how much. So She-Hulk had 9, because that's another one I can remember.
Watch that one.
What was the one? I watched it. I did not. I think they followed the comics pretty righteously, but I didn't like it. It broke the fourth wall in a really rubbish way, and it was. I won't get into it, but there's just some very confusing points. But what was the other one? What's the other one about Captain America?
There's a Winter Soldier one.
Is it Winter Soldier? Is that what it's called? Winter Soldier,
or something like that. Captain America is something along those lines.
Did you watch that one? I actually quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was Falcon.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Again,
I
6 episodes.
Okay. I thought it was okay. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't bad. But it wasn't good.
My favorite character from it was obviously they tried to make it very racially based, and obviously they showed there was a black super soldier and such, but it was the guy that they replaced him with, like the Falcon with, to be the new Captain America, who's just a normal soldier. You truly hated the character, and that was some good acting. That was some unbelievably good acting. You truly hated him. You were like, oh, yeah. It was actually really good. I think all of that was really good. But again, haven't made a second season. Only 6 episodes long and forgotten.
Yeah, there's a few of them. I think
Loki.
Echo.
Which one?
Echo. It's kind of like a prequel to Daredevil. Fifth comes about.
It's got Kingpin in it. I think Kingpin is. I've not watched it, but I know he was in it, and that guy was pretty good. Apparently, got some pretty good ratings. I watched Loki 1, really enjoyed it. I think I watched like 3 episodes of Loki 2, and then just forgot to go back. So I need to go. It's actually I've got a tab open of that one already open to go and finish it.
The finale of season 2 is really good, like really good. So you need to go back to that one.
Yeah.
Like, Loki was the only one and WandaVision that's actually like pretty good, solid TV. Like.
Yeah, it's hard to remember them all. This is it. Like you can't even
There's so many now. Obviously, if you just never watched any Marvel movie and you were like, right, what do I need to watch to catch up? It's like 40 movies.
Got to go for timeline though.
Stuff like it's like it's stupid, but yeah,
yeah. But no, it's
cover, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, another good one. Actually, I don't know how it like lines up in the all of the other things, but have you watched Moon Knight?
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
I
Like,
really enjoyed that.
I thought that was really good. Like Oscar Isaac's such a good actor.
Oh, such a good
It
actor.
was just it was something new. Like all the Egyptian stuff is pretty cool as well.
Very cool.
Like that was it wasn't received that great, but I thought
No.
it was actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't obviously like amazing, but it was
It was a
pretty
healthy.
good.
It was a good, strong series. I
Marvel,
thought. Yeah.
Marvel TV series, like, and it just wasn't received that great. But
Yeah.
it was Oscar Isaac was. I thought he was brilliant. And I thought he was really good.
So good because he's playing two characters at once, and that's for a lot of
Yeah,
actors.
it's
If
very
you look
hard.
at the new Star Wars show that came out with the Old Republic, that she did her best, but it really shows it's a difficult task because when she was playing one of the characters, I thought she was really strong, but when she was playing the other one, I don't think she was that good, and so it's a
Oh,
really
the
tough.
actor, you mean?
The acolyte, yeah, because it's the
Yeah.
Old Republic stuff. Like I find actors, it's a really props for people who try it, but to be one actor and play multiple roles. Another really good example of it is Legend. Is Thingamajig plays it really well as the
Oh, Tom Hardy,
gangsters.
yeah.
Yeah, Tom Hardy plays unbelievably good because you actually like the acting's so good you forget it's the same actor, and
Yeah.
that's when you can tell it's really good. We'll round it off because we're getting to near the end of the episode. But my last Marvel one, we'll stick on that topic, is Eternals. Did you like it?
I actually really enjoyed it.
I
I'm one of the
really
ones
enjoyed
who-
it.
I'm one of the ones who was like, I wish they didn't cancel it. Like, I wish I was so annoyed that it was received so badly because the whole thing with Marvel in Eternals, I think why people didn't relate to it is because it's so different.
Yeah,
Doesn't
they're
tell
not superheroes, are they? Like,
Yeah, it's kind of but it was I enjoyed it so much. Like
so
Barry
much.
Barry Keegan, brilliant in it. His Druid or something like that.
Is he the one that can make people do things?
Yeah, like control their mind.
Yeah, unbelievably good performance.
Yeah, like Richard Madden's great in it.
All
the
of them were great.
Speedster girl, she's really cool, and like that's kind of probably the best speedster kind of representation or whatever that we've had.
Mm.
And it was just like completely new, it was completely fresh. Like
I don't understand why people didn't like it. It got so battered, and I was like, the cast was great, the acting was good, the storyline was pretty strong.
like the monsters, I can't remember what they were called, but they were really cool. Like it was just like it was such a cool idea. It was such a good idea, and it just got.
Yeah.
I'm one of the ones who would just say, no, that's a good film. I won't.
Yeah.
I won't let anyone else tell me that's a bad film.
No, yeah, and the twist of them.
Well,
The twist of them being obviously won't say it but anyway, the twist of it was a good twist, and I think it was a good film, and it was good produced, it was well produced, and I think all of it, and the fighting, the action was sick. People are stupid. That's what that is.
Yeah, people just hate stuff, but obviously, like it had both Jon Snow and Robb Stark, so obviously I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, but good.
It was
good.
I enjoy. I don't.
I'm gonna watch that film again. I'm gonna watch it later, probably. Actually,
It is good. It is legit a good movie, but people just hate on stuff.
All right, one little bonus one, because now I just want to see if you and I agree on another one.
Okay.
Did you watch the Solo film?
Oh yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I actually thought it was good.
It's a fucking great film. People are clapped. Honestly, I think it was a great film.
As well, that's got Daenerys Targaryen in it.
Yeah. Oh, she was so good.
He was really good, and it was like a good. The actor I thought was really good. Who was Solo? Like,
Yeah.
it was a good kind of prequel to Solo. Like,
Mm.
obviously had Donald Glover as well as the.
Yeah, as Count Lando Calrissian. Yeah, Lando Calrissian. All of them
and-
played the characters so well. All of it.
It was a good. It was fresh. It was like it wasn't like any. It was a bit like Rogue One in a sense. It was really different
Yeah.
to all the originals.
It made you feel the universe more though, and like her playing Kira and
opened stuff up.
and the Darth Maul being at the end. I was like, this is supposed to be a three-part film. This
Yeah.
is going to be sick, and everyone's like, this is not my Han Solo, and I'm just thinking, you're such
It's just like-
nerds.
You just can't. Nothing can like come new. Like
Yeah.
people just don't like new stuff that go away from like lore or how it's meant to be back in the original films and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That was another good film that should have had a prequel.
should have had more.
Sequel,
And
sorry.
And you know, funny. I'm going to ruffle some feathers here, but I just said, such nerds, because our nerds are like, oh, now most people are nerds and like welcome and stuff, but they like to gatekeep fantasy. Like people like you look at Star Trek people, you look at like nerdish people who have those franchises. They gatekeep the idea of things growing so much, but I think a big part of those communities would be like, no, we you know. They love openness and stuff, but I think that's a load of bullshit. I think people are so like closed-minded to change, like to growing things, because they see it's changing, not growing. And I just think
not everything has to be how it was like in the comic books or in the original films or anything like that. You can have new stuff.
That said, I'm going to go back on something I just said. Great film, but the one thing I did not like about the Solo film is that how he got his name. I think that triggered a lot of people. Do you know when he's at the border pass thing and they're like, "What's your name? What's the name?" He's like, "I've never had a surname. I don't have a family." Blah 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 blah. And the guy's like, "Huh, Solo." And I thought that is bollocks. That actually, I came out of that going, great film. Loved all the cast. What was that? That is lazy writing. And I just thought he should have just been called Solo. He should have been like, "Oh, I don't have a family. I'm so," like he should have owned it a bit. But for the random Bob the Builder fucking border guard being like, "You're on your own, are you?" You know, he could have called single. There you go. You can be hand single. Like it could have been equally shit in so many ways. But interesting. Well, we have common opinions.
I'm sure there's quite a bit as well that we disagree on. To be fair, but
they'll come in force. I'm sure.
Movies out there that obviously people just hate on.
Yeah, and I think it's people just hating online. Like the ones that trigger me the most, I think, are like when people like review bomb. They're like, "I'm not even going to watch this. 0 star, like 1 star." I'm like,
why?
Why? I feel like you shouldn't be able to review it until you've like shown you've watched it or something. I don't know how the hell, but you know, I hate when people review bomb, and it just kills it all. But anyway, good little chat about football, about films. I hope everyone who's watched enjoys. Yeah, and bring on the football. Yeah, come on, Man United. United. Oh god, it's gonna be brutal. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time.